Yeah. That's my favorite theme song of all the podcasts I appear on.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful, man.
But good to see you, Dr. Chris.
Likewise, Bill Apter.
For some reason, it's hard to hear you. I don't know why, but it's a technical situation. But you know what?
What's up, Bill?
We just had the entire month of May, right?
Yes.
Now it's June,
I had
right?
the month of May.
And tonight, the breaking news in June, May showed up. Mariah May made her appearance without them saying what her name was on NXT tonight. And she said she's going to bring glamour to the NXT division. Did you think that they were going to start her off in NXT? I did not. I thought they were going to debut her maybe at Evolution and then bring her onto one of the main rosters. I'm surprised they brought her into NXT, but maybe a good move to get some more people to watch it.
I like it. To answer your question, not a surprise at all that they debuted on NXT because they can't assume that everybody knows who she is.
Yeah, well, she's got quite a following. So I'm lip reading here because, like I said, it's very difficult for some reason to hear you. The music volume was fine, but I don't know what's going on with
everybody. Hear me on the we're having a Sports Kita. Let me tell you something, man. Sports Kita. Get those super chats together, man. That's a
little bit better.
Get the super chats together.
I like that. So what I might do, Dr. Chris, I might have you just take it for a minute and I'll switch over to my computer. Would you be okay with that?
I am, of course, man.
Give me 2-3 minutes.
I got you. No problem at all. Let me get up out of here. All right. So we got a comment saying still no super chats. So yes, we need super chats here on the Sports Kita. Again, hey, Sports Kita, let me tell you something, man. We need to get these super chats together. All right? Come on, man. What's up? We need to get these super chats. All right, so that's what we're going to do here. Waiting for Bill Apter to log in here. We've got some. He was talking about Mariah May, and he asked a question. Do I think it's a surprise that Mariah May debuted on NXT? No, I do not think that it's a surprise that Mariah May debuted on NXT. Like I was telling Bill, and as I was telling him. As I was telling him before, and as I was telling him now, before he gets on, I do not think it's a surprise that Mariah May debuted in NXT because people don't really know who she is. You can assume at least that people knows who she is. All right, Bill Apter.
Still, give me a sound check again.
Check 1, 2.
No, it's still pretty low, Dr. Chris, but I can work with it.
All right. How about the comments section, everybody? Do y'all hear me well?
People need to tell your friends. Let them know to come into the room, into the wrestle room. Yes. So, we were talking about Mariah May minus Tony Storm. Wouldn't it be something if they brought Tony Storm in too eventually? But I don't think Tony Khan's letting her go.
I don't think so either. No. People can hear me and you just fine.
Yeah. I'm just having trouble hearing you, but
I don't know why.
It's okay. It's all right. So the other thing I want to talk about is we've got Money in the Bank coming up this Saturday night. So why don't we give our predictions for that? Do you have both rosters with you, the men and the ladies ones? Yes. And let's see who we're going to pick.
Yes.
I've already got my picks in mind.
Who do you got?
Well, let's go over the field of the ladies.
Lyra Valkyria, Becky Lynch.
Oh, in that match, I think Lyra Valkyria is going to retain her championship. I think we're going to see a Lyra more vicious than we've ever seen her before. We saw her the other night on TV. She's got this new angry attitude, which I think is really, really great. I do like that very much. And I think that it's going to be a brawl, and I think Lyra is going to embarrass Becky, and Lyra is going to keep her title. What do you think?
Becky is going to win the championship, I believe. They already did a match between the two. Why would they have Becky go against her again after losing, just to lose again? I don't think.
Well, I don't know. I'm not looking for the reason why. I just think that right now they're trying to elevate Lyra Valkyria, and I think they're going to keep the belt on him. I think they see something special in her, and Becky doesn't really need a belt again.
Can I finish my answer?
Oh, I'm sorry. Again, I'm having trouble with the audio here.
All right. So I do think that I do think that Becky Lynch will win the match because Lyra Valkyria beat her already. I think it was Backlash. So they wouldn't have Becky Lynch go against her again just to have Becky Lynch lose again. I do think heading into SummerSlam, we're going to have a stronger match for the Intercontinental Championship. I do see a match between Becky Lynch and Bayley being for the Intercontinental Championship.
Okay.
I think
that's fair.
I think
Absolutely
that Bayley.
Fair.
I think that Bayley. I think that I can see Becky Lynch attack Lyra after winning the match. They doing the bell gimmick, keep her and to disarm her, and then all of a sudden Bayley comes out, make the save because Bayley and Lyra were teaming and things like that. Mm-hmm. And of course, you have a perfect setup right there as far as because Becky was the one who attacked Bayley. And basically she was the one who said, "Hey, I attacked Bayley." Perfect. That sets up. Bayley comes back, attacks Becky, Becky at SummerSlam.
Makes sense. It makes sense. I could see that happening, but I'm still picking Lyra. Or Becky goes nuts and she gets disqualified. Her temper gets way out of control, and they can't control her, and she gets herself disqualified, which leads to another clash at SummerSlam.
Eek. I don't want to see
Oh, I
three
like
of these.
that look you just gave me.
Yeah, I don't want to see three of these. These Lyra Valkyria promos have been rough. All right, let's go to Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso against John Cena and Logan Paul.
I pick Cena and Logan Paul to get into a battle with each other. I don't think their two egos are strong. They're too strong to stay together, and this will lead us somewhere to, Logan Paul said he would love to wrestle against John Cena. This is a great setup. My concern is, and again, I'm talking like a fan here, but my concern is Jey Uso. Everybody's beating him up. And Monday night on Raw, he's going to go against Gunther, and his battle scars are terrible at this point. Uh, I, I I don't know how he's going to make out with Cody as his partner, if he's going to be able. He might just get beaten to a pulp again, and perhaps Gunther beats him on Monday Night Raw.
So you're saying Gunther's going to pick up the scraps on Monday?
Yeah, I do. So
I can see
I'm
that.
saying that that Cody and Jey Uso will take the victory, which will lead to an argument between Logan Paul and John Cena that will take them to a match. But I just, there's something that's telling me that they want that title belt around that world title belt. Do you have a feel for Jey Uso as a world champion? He's a great entertainer. He's a great athlete, but do you feel that aura of him as a world champion?
That's a great question, as always, asked by Bill Apter, who always asks
Thank
the
you,
great
sir.
questions. I do not, unfortunately. I like Jay, man. I like Jay. I've been pulling for Jay for months. I actually predicted last May, a year ago, on my Pancakes and Power Slam show. I did a show. I did a topic of who I thought the early favorite was going to be of the winner of the Royal Rumble, and I said Jey Uso. I've been pulling for Jey Uso for a long time,
Yes, I know
but
that.
unfortunately, man, I don't like how they're booking Jey Uso. He does not feel bigger than or other than. Like, I think that with the world champion, you should feel bigger than and other than everybody. You should stand out amongst the crowd. I
Totally
think
agree.
I think that Jey Uso blends in with everybody too much, and he shouldn't do
Yeah.
that as a world champion.
Gunther, though, on the other hand,
He
is
stands out.
that's championship material. That's somebody you look at, and he looks like a world champion. And again, Jey Uso is great in the ring, but I just don't feel that. When you look at, ladies and gentlemen, here's the world heavyweight champion.
Yes,
It's that guy.
I agree. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
and here's the thing, Bill. I think it's difficult. It's tough for Jay, man, because I'm fine with him being world champion. I was pulling for him being world champion. I think from a business standpoint, Jey Uso is the way to go. But here's the thing: the yeets and the merch selling and all of that doesn't necessarily require him having to be a world champion.
No, absolutely not.
I think the merchandise, the merch sales are still going to be there. The entrance is still going to be there. So I think he kind of has gotten pigeonholed in many ways by the yeet, by the entrance, and because that's so huge that the in-ring work and the promos and all that, to me, that has to be better than the yeet. And I
Yeah,
don't
there's
think
too
that
much
the
showbiz.
promos are better
There's,
than the yeet, in my opinion.
there's too much showbiz, and I'll use the word, showmanship. With the
Yeah,
whole Yeet thing and everything, and it's just doesn't come across like world champion. And there are a
great.
lot of guys there that feel that with too. I think if they put the belt, let's say, on a Seth Rollins, that's world champion. Okay, Sami Zayn, I could not see as again as a world champion. To me,
Agree.
the world champion looks bigger than life.
Yes.
Gunther has got that.
100% agree with you, Bill Apter. Look at you, man. Look at you. Home run, Bill Apter, man.
Oh
Very,
my goodness.
very nice, man. Very
Thank you,
nice.
ladies and gentlemen. I'm
Very
here
nice.
all night.
Yes, indeed. As far as my prediction for the tag match, I think I think I've said this before, man. I think they're putting way too much heat off of Cena by having him get attacked, and the baby faces went up him. I think that he'll pull off a win here, in my opinion. Let's do women's. Let's do women.
Before we go on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Before we go on to it, I just have a feeling that Jey Uso will be beaten up again on during that pay-per-view, and that's going to hurt him for the match against Gunther. It's almost like they're telegraphing it to us.
Yep.
That little chat that they had in the dressing room on Friday night it just, I don't know, it didn't settle right with me that here's Jay's big enemy I'm coming in to give you advice.
Yes.
You're a nice guy. You don't. I don't know. It just didn't settle well with me.
Here's an interesting scenario. Yeah, okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that when it comes to.
You're baiting me now. I can't wait.
I'm baiting you. We'll get to that when it comes to the men's Money in the Bank. So let's go to the women's Money in the Bank match. Right now we have Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Giulia, Naomi, and Stephanie Vaquer. Who do you have, Bill Apter?
I am going to pick someone that they haven't found a way to push, and yet they want to push at this point, and that's Alexa Bliss. Okay. I think Alexa Bliss is is someone we're not expecting to win, but the fans would like to see her win. Rhea Ripley doesn't need a win or a belt, she really doesn't, and some of the other girls do, but I just see this is a way to start moving Alexa Bliss in the right direction, because right now she's kind of lost in Angle Land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's I think Alexa Bliss is she's there, and she's kind of clocking in and clocking out for me. Like she's had her time. She's had her time to me. I think with Alexa Bliss, she's just kind of, unfortunately, she's kind of playing a filler role in many ways, man, which is unfair to her. But I do think, because she's been a Money in the Bank champ, she's had a Money in the Bank contract before. She successfully cashed it in. I think I'm gonna go out on a limb here, Bill. I'm cool with Naomi. I think that they've been really pushing Naomi. I think that she has a hot streak right now. If you want to put it on someone who's hot right now, as far as just them spending the time building up the angle with her, I think you put it on Naomi, man. I think the safe bet, honestly, is Rhea Ripley, just because she's never been in a Money in the Bank match. But I definitely agree with you, Bill. She doesn't need it.
She doesn't need it, right?
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah,
she doesn't.
She could be 0-1.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. See, my thing is, if someone could cut a promo to get a world championship match, I think that you don't need them in these matches, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't think Rhea Ripley needs it.
No, I don't either. They are moving Stephanie Vaquer. But they're really trying to grab people's attention with her. So she might be my second dark horse.
She could be a dark
choice.
Horse.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, she could be a dark horse. Yep. All right. Men's Money in the Bank match.
Let's go. Who do we have as the contestants, as the competitors to climb that ladder and get that all-important contract for a title shot, Dr. Chris?
Solo Sokoa, LA Knight, yeah. Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, and El Grande Americano. Who do you got, Bill Apter?
Well, originally on Time Machine, I picked Penta.
Okay.
But after listening to Teddy Long and Mac Davis make their argument on there, Senor Americano would probably be the most outrageous, best choice, because they could play with that so much and so easily. And then, Chad Gable loses at AAA. Americano wins the Money in the Bank, and then somehow he's got to wind up against himself.
Sure.
Don't
okay,
try to figure it out.
Means.
But
yeah,
no, I think that either he's going to do it or Penta. And the reason I picked Penta is because of the new relationship with AAA, going in right now with AAA and trying to bring AAA into the real minds of the WWE fans. To have Penta win it would make a lot of sense.
Okay. So
who you got?
So here's my scenario. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think that Jey Uso and Gunther is going to occur on Monday. And I think that Jey Uso is going to beat Gunther on Monday.
Oh, okay.
And then following the match, we're going to get another attack by Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, you're going to have the person who won the Money in the Bank cash in his briefcase, which is Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins is going to cash in his briefcase the Raw after Money in the Bank, and you're going to lead a rematch between Seth and Jay at SummerSlam.
Okay, so you're picking Seth Rollins.
Picking Seth Rollins, yes, indeed.
Yes, and I think he's too high profile to.
Now I agree with that. I agree with that. I stand by the very fact that if you can cut a promo, you don't need to be in this match. But I do think the very fact that Seth Rollins is in the match, I think that this is more storyline than it is actual having somebody win, the match.
But they're going
used.
It's kind of same. It's kind of same old there.
I agree.
You're recycling the same people winning this. That's why I think they need to do something different.
Well, you had Alexa Bliss win, and she won before too.
Yeah.
But let me tell you that. I agree with you though, Bill. I agree with you. I think that the Money in the Bank contract should be for someone who's like there, and just need that extra oomph, and they've been like a mid card to a high mid card person for a while. They just need that extra boost, and that's how it was before when Punk won, when Ken Anderson won, when Edge won, especially when Edge won. Edge was like that upper mid card slot.
I remember.
Then he cashed it in. I think it was New Year's Revolution against John Cena after the cage match that they had or something like that. And so stuff like that is what it should be. It's that extra little push for someone. Same thing with the Ziggler. Same thing with Daniel Bryan. Stuff like that. I think, though, similar to when Drew won, it was more storyline focused. I think the same is going to be with Seth. I'm not a fan of it, but I think realistically, Seth winning, cashing in against Jay, it kind of ties in the loose ends of this his boys attacking Jay.
Oh yes, of course.
You know what I mean? So
and the whole Heyman thing.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So I got two more things I want to talk about. Wouldn't you
unless Seth cashes in on Jay, and then Jay he gets attacked by Bronson and Braun, which leads to his brother Jimmy saving him, and then we get the Usos versus Braun and Bronson at SummerSlam, and then that takes Jay away from the title picture.
That would be okay.
And then you can put in CM Punk Seth for the title at SummerSlam.
Got to put the belt on Bronson.
Bronson Reed?
Yeah, got to put the belt on him.
The world title?
When? The modern day Crusher Blackwell.
I like Bronson. I definitely
do too.
World champion material.
He's got it all going. Yeah.
I think he's got
so two more things to talk about. Wouldn't you like to see El Americano Otis?
Yeah.
I thought you'd get a laugh out of that. So somebody came up with a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
And somebody got back to me tonight and said, you know what? You're right. So R-Truth is gone. Right? Bubba Ray Dudley, I understand, has said he's hoping this is an angle that Cena's going to come out and say, I told you I was going to ruin wrestling and I got rid of R-Truth, which is this is what Bubba Ray said. It's okay. It'd be great if they did that and fooled everybody. But here's something, a conspiracy theory that nobody thought about. And somebody ran it past me. I said, no. And then I watched part of NXT again tonight, and I watched SmackDown on Friday, that Devon Evans has that same R-Truth look. He's got the same hair. He's got the dreadlocks. He's got an exciting entrance. He's maybe the flying clone of what R-Truth was many years ago. And people are saying it's like a casting director. They're not going to use R-Truth anymore, but they have, like, the understudy would come in to replace the main guy, like in a Broadway show. And as soon as I saw him Friday night on SmackDown, I said, he looks like R-Truth. Same look.
Okay.
Yes? No?
No, but go ahead. You can finish.
I'm not talking about personality. I'm not talking about the shtick that no one can do but R-Truth. But the look reminded me, and several fans have told me the same thing. Once I said it, and this was told to me by someone, and then I looked and I said, yeah, he does kind of have like that R-Truth clone looking to me. So just wanted to, you fans out there watching us here in the Wrestle Room, let us know what you think.
What's the conspiracy theory?
Conspiracy is that they got rid of the older guy for a clone younger version of him.
What's the conspiracy?
Making too much money? The other guy's making a lot less money.
So he's going to be a comedy act on the main roster?
He could be. I don't know. I'm just telling you something that someone told me that I'm bringing out.
Yeah, I think that I think that that's extremely far-fetched. I do think that it still doesn't make sense. Well, I have heard some things. I mentioned this yesterday. I heard some things from a conversation I had with someone from the office as far as truth and contract stuff, and it's an interesting thing that I'll probably talk about on my Patreon. But I do think that with R-Truth, I'm not a fan of the fact that they let him go, but there's a half a dozen people that they could cut.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Who that's back there sitting in catering, that's been sitting in catering, that brings, I mean, no disrespect, but brings nothing to the table. I mean, R-Truth brings so much to the table. He has been for a number of years, and the Ron Cena shirts was one of the biggest selling shirts, and they pulled it off. Yep. They pulled it. So they're losing money by letting him go. They could have easily brought him back. You know, they could have kept him as an on-air personality and they could have had him as an agent. I think he would have been an amazing agent, and they could recoup their money that they're giving him, even if it was a bigger offer that he was asking for. They could have recouped their money by merch sales. I mean, like the Ron
Absolutely.
Cena
Somebody
merch
told me they
sales could
offered
have
him.
recouped it.
Somebody told me they offered him about 60% less than his original contract. I don't know if that's true, but you know what this reminds me of?
What's
This
that?
reminds me of when Turner Broadcasting took over WCW and they started calling the shots.
Uh,
And I'm wondering if someone at TKO was like, we got to cut some people. This guy's program's over. John put him through a table, then he beat him. We don't need him anymore. His
right.
contract's expiring. What are we going to do with him? And you're not going to tell the
Right.
executives at TKO that you don't agree with them at this point. I don't think you do, but it just reminds me of that whole Turner taking over
Mm.
WCW business.
My thing is, why not say something? I mean, like they don't. TKL don't know. I mean, like they look at dollars and cents, Bill. They don't
Yeah.
really pay attention to the product. They have people who pay attention to the product, which is the people in
Uh-huh.
WWE. And so at the end of the day, they're looking at spreadsheets, man. They're not looking at, content of like, I think he should get pushed. I think he should be like that. They have the WWE
Oh no, I
personnel.
know, but you always get that one person in the office with like maybe we should, because again, that's what happened with WCW is these people that weren't supposed to touch the wrestling end of it, all of a
Yeah.
sudden they started coming up with their own ideas.
Yeah,
Who
but
should we hire? Who should we get rid of?
that was more of that was across the board. I mean, like when it started, when the shifting started to go within who's owning WCW at this point. Again, even Turner was looking at dollars and cents.
Yeah.
Eric Bischoff is someone, as far as the number of people I've interviewed over 400 people. As far as people I've interviewed the most, Eric Bischoff is he's on the top of the list of like probably the top 5 people I've interviewed the most, at least a half dozen times. So I've talked to him many times about WCW stuff when it comes to that stuff. And I think at the end of the day, it was, yes, people were pulling the strings, but they were looking at dollars and cents. And their biggest thing was, why are we keeping this in this spot? Like show us why we're keeping this in this spot. And there were a lot of people who just didn't like pro wrestling as a whole.
Yeah. I know that.
And so Bischoff and company, it was a constant tug of war of, I mean, like we should keep Nitro on. We're giving you money. We're producing these ratings. But then there were just petty executives that were just like, I want to pull the rug from him because I just don't like wrestling. You know what I mean?
Could this, it's the old never say never. Could this happen with TKO and WWE? Who knows?
Never say
But
never.
I'm just
I'm with you
saying
with
that there's something really stinks about this R-Truth thing, and maybe we don't fully know the truth yet.
And that I agree with you as well, Bill. I don't think we know everything. It's in, with social media, and I'll be talking about this on my show right after this. It's easy for the knee-jerk reaction. It's easy to appeal to the emotion. It's easy to know a little bit to make a big opinion. And so at the end of the day, there's probably a good chance that we'll never know publicly as far as what really happened. And that it probably is going to be that way, probably for the foreseeable future, if not forever. But at the same time, the little bit that we have, which is he's released, it causes the uproar. But how much do we know the nuances of that from an office perspective?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. However, if I'm Tony Khan, I was on the phone yesterday with R-Truth. Then, if I'm Tony Khan, your contract's expired. There's no, you don't have to wait X amount of days. Show up Wednesday. We got 4 hours to fill.
You know what I would have him do real quick before we go? I would have him be the comedic a person who's trying to get into the Hurt Syndicate and like has a back and forth with MJF as far as that that third spot as far as being in the Hurt Syndicate, similar to like a Judgment Day type of deal, trying to get in there, but trying to get into the Hurt
No, that'd be
Syndicate
great.
with the
That'd be great.
T-shirt and everything. I think that would be comedic gold, especially with him and MJF
I
trying to
just keep
jockey
hearing,
for that position.
I just keep hearing Bubba Ray going that, you know, John Cena's going to come out next week and say he's ruining wrestling. He got rid of R-Truth. I don't know why I keep hearing that, but
we'll
wouldn't that
see.
be something?
Rhea Ripley had a R-Truth shirt on, and then when we get to the segment, she just had the red sports bra on, so she had to take the shirt off.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they stepped on the "We Want Truth" and R-Truth chants. The commentator stepped on those, and so looks like they're trying to Men in Black him from the WWE, man. So
I hope,
let him know where to
old
find him.
Jimmy lands on his feet.
I hope so too, man. I heard.
Hey, Dr. Chris.
I got some texts, man. It's been pretty tough for little Jimmy, so I hope he gets on his feet.
Where can people find you?
What can people find me? You can find me at Chris Prolific, right there underneath my.
You usually ask me. That's why.
I do. I did ask you, and you asked me,
and
I answered. But yeah, so I'll give my plugs here in a minute, but I want you to give your plugs, man.
All right, and of course, you can follow me on Twitter X.
Yeah.
At Apter One Wrestling, and tell your friends and your enemies and your family that we are here live every Tuesday night, Eastern Standard Time at 11 p.m.
Yes, indeed. Join me right after this to the Pancakes and Power Slam show. Just type in Pancakes and Power Slams on YouTube. Tonight's class is going to be the psychological dangers of Twitter.
Sounds good.
We're talking about social media, psychology of social media, and the psychological dangers of Twitter with all of the uproar that came this past weekend. And I was included in that too. So that's really interesting. So until next time, this guy right here is Bill Apter.
And that guy over there is Dr. Chris, and we'll see you at the matches.
So long.
So long.
So long. Bye-bye.
I did your sign off. So long.
I love it.